Today is Wednesday, Parashat Shemot. Parashat Shemot really tells us the odyssey of the Jewish people from the beginning in the slavery of Egypt, and then the Exodus, the receiving of the Torah, the building of the Mishkan. And this Parashat tells us also about the birth of Moshe Rabbeinu. So today we'll just describe some of the Midrashim that have to do with this Parasha. So this Parasha, it says that Moshe was kvad peh kvad lashon, he had a speech impediment. So there is a Midrash that explains what happened. Midrash says, from Shemot Rabbi, it says that Moshe Rabbeinu was so beautiful as a child. The daughter of Paro, who took him into the palace, she cherished him, and actually was so beautiful that people come in the palace to look at him, and Paro would hold this baby, this child, and put him on his lap, and Moshe Rabbeinu as a child would take the crown of Paro and put it on his head. When he would do that, the advisors of Paro told him, there's a symbol here, there's a sign, it's an omen, that this child is going to take the leadership of the people from you. In other words, he's going to be the leader of the Jewish people. They realized that by him taking the crown from Paro and putting it on his own head, this child is destined to be a leader, to be a king. And so some of the advisors said you should kill this child. Some of them said, burn him up. But Yitro was there, and Yitro says, look, is this only a child? He's just playing around. And Yitro was the one to give the advice that he said, let's see, bring some gold on one side and some coals, burning coals on the other side. And let's see what the child is going to touch. Is he going to take the gold, or is he going to take the burning coals? And according to the Midrash, they did this experiment, and Moshe was going to go for the gold, but Gabriel, the Malach, the angel Gabriel, took his hand and put it to the coal, so that he took the coal and put it into his mouth, and that's how his mouth, his lips were burnt, and that's how he got this speech impediment, according to this Midrash. And he was going to go for the holding the gold, but that would have been a proof that he knew that the crown was something of importance. But by him being pushed by the angel Gabriel to go by the coal, it saved his life, according to this Midrash. But at the same time, he created a speech impediment. It's another Midrash in the Parashah of this week, also from Midrash Rabbi, that says, the Pasuk says, Vayar besivlotam, and he saw in their suffering. And according to the Midrash, Moshe saw the Jewish people were suffering, working every day. So he went and told Paro, look, even if you have a slave, you want him to do good work, so you should give him at least one day of rest a week, so he can do the rest of the days, he can do the work with in a way that he's strong, rather than being tired from one day to the next. Give him a day of rest. And Paro says, you know what, that's a good idea. They'll be able to produce even more that way. And that's how Moshe Rabbeinu was given then by Paro, told him, go and do what you said. What you give an instruction to give him a day off. And Moshe Rabbeinu made the takana, he made a decree that they should have a day off, and that day would be Shabbat. He directed it to be Shabbat, so they would not only rest, but actually fulfill the mitzvah of not working on Shabbat. There's another Midrash that says about the Pasuk, says, Moshe haya ro'eh. Moshe was a shepherd for the sheep, for the flocks of Yitro. And according to this Midrash, one of the small goat ran away from the rest of the flock, and as Moshe Rabbeinu was running after him, that small little kid, the small little goat, ended up going to a place where there was a water, and he was drinking from this water because he was very thirsty, obviously. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, whoa, I didn't know that you were running because of the thirst. You must be tired. So he took the goat and put him on his shoulders, and it was going with him. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, this is a person who has so much compassion, even for this small little kid, small little goat. And this shows the quality of the person, and therefore he is the one who has the quality that is needed for a good leader, and he should be then the shepherd of my flock, which is of Am Yisrael. So these were some of the Midrashim from the Parashah of this week, Parashat Shemot. Baruch Adonai le'olam, Amen ve'amen.